Audio newsletter number 62, when in perpetuity isn't bad. You've probably heard a coach or a voiceover talent say, never do a job where they want to use your voiceover in perpetuity. And in most cases, they're right. However, like in any industry, there's a lot of information that isn't necessarily black or white. It depends on the situation. And this is one of those cases.
Let me explain.
First, let's define in perpetuity. And in addition to in perpetuity, some clients use the phrase buyout. In voiceover, especially in commercials, voiceover rates are usually calculated by a session fee and then a usage fee. Session fee is actually the rate paid for the recording session. The usage fee is determined by how long the product will run and where it's going to live. Meaning, is it going to be TV, internet, radio, all of the above? The longer it runs, the more money you should make. So what's the problem with agreeing to in perpetuity or a complete buyout? Number one, you're probably not getting paid what you should based on how long it could actually run. Two, if it's a commercial or in a prominent place, you'll have a conflict with that product or category forever. For example, that means if you do an ad for, say, a smaller insurance company and they wanted it in perpetuity, and then next year when you get an audition for a national Allstate commercial and in the email it says no insurance conflicts, you can't audition. Or, I mean, yeah, you probably could audition, but once they find out that you did that other insurance spot,
they're not going to book you.
So knowing this, why would clients even ask for in perpetuity or a complete buyout? Well, it could actually be several reasons. One, they could be on a budget and they're covering their bases, knowing that they don't want to be required to pay more money if they want to use it a little bit longer than they said they would. Another reason they ask for it is because, well, they've seen it on other job postings for voiceover talent, so they're like, copy, paste, boom. It must just be what everybody in the industry does. Another option would be they really don't know how long the usage is going to be, so they just put that on there. With agents, any audition that comes through, you usually won't see anything that says usage in perpetuity. But if you do, they've usually negotiated a hefty rate for you for that exclusivity. But on pay-to-play sites, this happens every day, and on some pay-to-play sites, within every job offer. So here are some guidelines that we use for when in perpetuity or a complete buyout may not be that bad. One, when a project is for a nonprofit. Side note, if you ever want to figure out if a charity is good, bad, in between, go to charitynavigator.org. They make it nice and easy for you. Now, we love nonprofits, especially those that align with our values, and we love helping when we can. Nonprofits typically do not have a huge budget, and most likely won't interfere with you having to audition for similar types of jobs. The only time we'd be more hesitant is if it was with a big-time charity, like a Charity Water or a World Vision. But other than that, you should be good to go. Number two of when in perpetuity or a buyout isn't that bad, when there's dated script content. If the script mentions a promo or a deal that's only good for a limited time, or maybe seasonal items or sales like 4th of July or a Black Friday sale, the client is most likely not going to use your voiceover forever. Now, depending on the script, they probably could use part of the script for reuse maybe later, so it is one that you need to use some caution with. But if there's not a portion that they could use when the promo or sale is done, this could be a good exception to the in perpetuity buyout rule. Again, it's a case-by-case basis, and you own your voiceover business, so you need to make this as a business owner and a business decision. Get advice, get counsel. And finally, number three, when it's for a local client or brand. If it's a project for a local and small-town brand, the chances of it being a conflict for future jobs is pretty rare. However, it is still one to be cautious about. Most big brands started small, but the odds of a small town brand becoming big and them continuing to use that one spot they did way back when, the likelihood of that, it's very low. Again, just make sure whenever you do it that the rate is acceptable. And there's so much to this voiceover industry and business. That's why we all need to continue to learn and grow. Heidi and I use a phrase that somebody else came up with, but it's a great reminder. You have to learn the rules to know when to break them. And often, that's the case when it comes to creative and business fields. So how do you know what rates to charge? We use the GVAA rate guide, so check that out. I'll put a link in the description. We pretty much use it every day, and it's bookmarked in our toolyard. We have it in our toolbar for easy access. But don't let this overwhelm you. If you do feel any hesitancy or you feel scared about sharing your rates or negotiating your rates, we've got a great course for this that can help you out. Check out our little course called Rates and Negotiation at provoiceovertraining.com. I'll link it in the description. Hope that helps. If I can ask for a favor, if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe share it with another talent who you think could benefit from this. If you find value in this channel, that's just a great way to help support us. We appreciate it. Coming up within a week or so, we're going to have another video topic that deals with auditions that you get through emails and whether they're legit or actual scams. Inquiring minds want to know. It's coming up. Until then, cheers to you and your voiceover success.
Not sure if you know this, but if you ever want to train with a professional, you can always go to AtlantaVoiceoverStudio.com and click on Private Coaches in the menu.
Yeah, we have a full list of coaches who will meet up with you live on Zoom and help you work on whatever you need. Whether you're trying to master the conversational natural read, you want to practice bringing a script to life as opposed to just reading it,
or if you'd like to make sure that your home studio is set up properly, we have a private coach for that. We're here to help you on your VO journey.